Hey there, berries, welcome to the lower final for the LEC for 2023. This is game number 3 of Fnatic versus Mad. If you don't want to be spoiled on the current results and you want to see the game number 1, then the videos for game number 1 and game number 2 will be in the description underneath this video. Now, that's given you enough time to stop the video and go on to one of those other videos. So let's press play and we're going to see game number 3. Now, so far, Fnatic are one game away for closing out the series and entering into the grand final against G2. We mentioned at the very start here, kind of a poor performance really from the Mad support, and once again they're on blue side again. Alistair this time on Hillsong. We got the Kalista as well, versus a very kind of defensive AD carry of Ezreal with Rel. So I'm already kind of looking at these two bot lanes and I'm thinking that actually Mad's bot lane in the 2v2 should be better. A lot of extra damage here coming from the Kalista. Alistair with the Glacial Augment going to be locking down somebody, probably the Rel. Ezra's going to get to Arcane Shift away and kite back a little bit, but I think like if Rel goes in to try and kind of disengage the engage, it's going to be really, really difficult for her to do that. I don't see how she's necessarily going to get to do that. I think Rel is probably just going to take a lot of damage in this laning phase. I don't really see a huge amount she can do. Once level 2 kicks in, Hillsong taking some unnecessary... I don't know why they're playing like this. Unnecessary poke taking onto Alistair here. Rel going in on mountain form so she can flip over the Alistair here and maybe look for something there. But yeah, once Alistair hits level 2, the WQ combo is going to be pretty dangerous. But yeah, I don't know. That's why you'd take a Mystic shot like that early on. It's a little bit weird. Just play behind the minions. Ezra won't be able to hit you and just hit level 2 and then look into maybe engaging onto the Rel before then, if possible. Ezra just went down really, really low HP, like half HP. Something's happened in the bot side, but also maybe, I don't know, something happened and we missed it. Ezra having to chug a health potion here. Somehow Mad managed to catch off. Would suspect, okay, flashing in, headbutt, pulverize, going through, not enough to actually kill the Rel. Forces the Rel to actually flash away. Both supports having Hextech Flash. Good play from Alistair. And yeah, this is what we've identified here very early on. Rel in this lane isn't very good. I don't know what happened level 1 though. Must have been the Kalista, must have got a lot of spears off for free or something. Yeah, there's nothing that the Rel can do in this bot lane. This Rel's kind of a dead pick, honestly. The only way she becomes useful is in a kind of if the jungler comes down and looks to play off of that, but the Rel here is just kind of really, really useless. Really nice flash, pulverize into headbutt, pushing the Rel back in towards the bot lane. And yeah, I don't think this Fnatic bot lane has any health potions left. It's a really bad start here from Fnatic. I will say, like, Ezra overall should generally be like relatively safe down here by himself if he does need to be left alone. I say relatively. There is still like Alistair can pop his ulti, tank turret shots, and then worst cases like Kalista ults the Alistair, and then tower dives aren't completely out of the question, but Ezra would have to definitely be careful of that still. So yeah, actually, I don't know. Their bot, I think Fnatic's bot lane in 2v2 situation here is just really bad. I think it's a really bad draft. Yeah, there's no real answer for the Alistair engage, and not enough damage from Ezreal to kind of put off the Kalista from going in either. So I'm expecting Fnatic's bot lane just to be weaker, and maybe they have more priority in the top, but they've got an Ornn in the top lane. So I don't know, not something that you would want to rely on getting ahead early. So I don't know. This might be a game where actually Mad might win in laning phase draft at least anyway. We'll have to see how the rest of this bot lane goes on. Like the Fnatic bot lane have already recalled. Mad's has already done a little recall. Kalista went back to get boots and the dagger. This is a really cheeky invade here actually from the Carthus. That's kind of crazy that's actually managed to work. That's really nice. Takeaway there. A lot of good jungle and bot side kind of presence here from Fnatic. Yeah, that steal there from the Krog camp was actually pretty huge. It was really, really nice play there. Rel kind of going into the jungle there to offer any backup if anything bad were to happen. But all eyes on this bot lane, I mean, sorry, right now is just, I don't see what Fnatic can do here in a 2v2. Decisive throwing in the spear. The Hextech flash coming from Alistair, but yeah, nothing really looking to happen. They can't look to tower dive in the 2v2 though. Like that would be too dangerous for sure. Once maybe level 6 starts happening, like as I mentioned earlier with the Alistair ulti, tower dives could get very, very interesting for Mad. I think until then though, you're just trying to get as much priority as possible. I mean, they could just do Dragon here. They could totally just do Dragon here, which looks like they are going to. Mad probably going to push in this next bot wave in as quickly as possible. Also, mid lane has priority too. They probably are aware that Karthus is maybe on the top half of the map because they used the Scry's Bloom. Saw that Wolves and Grump were already done and Karthus wasn't nearby, so they're probably suspecting that Karthus is more likely to be on the top half of the map. Yeah, and there's no mid or bot lane priority for Fnatic, so this is going to be really, really, really quick Dragon for Mad. This is definitely so far the best start I think that we've seen of any of Mad games that we've had on the channel recently. Okay, so yeah, really, really nice first Dragon here. Not really much to answer from Fnatic. I mean, the whole laning phase in Fnatic is really weak. Like Jace might be able to beat Azir early on, but I think that doesn't really kick on until a little bit later once Jace gets items. You got Ornn in the top lane, you got a losing 2-2 bot lane too. Like Karthus is also scaling up as well. Karthus is much better as the game goes on. So yeah, Fnatic are just willing just to lose every single lane here early. Question is their late game better though? I guess we'll find out. Karthus being really ballsy around here, like trying to get harassment here onto the Maokai, but he doesn't have lane priority. Alistair's already here. Karthus flashes the Alistair engage. Stun goes through from the Alistair, and Karthus goes down. I don't know why Karthus was challenging that river situation. Fnatic having to kind of get out of this, but Alistair's in a really bad spot, or is it? That's a really nice flash behind into there's not enough damage on Azir though. He's just not got enough mana. That was a really nice play actually from Hylissang from the Alistair. Much better gameplay here than in the other games that we've seen him in. Although it looks like somehow Kalista gets caught out there. Mad do get the scuttle. Hextech flash there from Alistair, not really doing much just in case Ezreal pushes in, but yeah, it was a really, really nice, clever headbutt over the flash over the wall and then headbutt. I really like that actually from the Alistair. Just a shame Azir didn't have enough manage to finish off the Jace. But here, I don't know why Karthus is challenging nothing in the river here. Like, he has no right to be there. Their bot laner pushed in and the mid laner pushed in. Karthus has absolutely no right to be there whatsoever. So, yeah, that starting off like that was just really, really bad misplay from the Karthus. Ezra having to, I mean, Arcane Shift or Flash over the wall there, not sure which, but this is really smart. That's really nice. Like, Jace has no mana there either, so you can't really turn over onto the Azir either, even though Azir's got low HP. I think one, if I was going to critique the Alistair there, I think he should have just stayed on the Jace after the headbutt. I think he was maybe worried that he was going to die, but Jace had no mana, and I think he could have probably stunned the Jace and then looked to get a kill after that. So I actually think that Mad could be on 3 kills. I think Jace probably should have died if the Alistair kept pursuing the Jace. Yeah, another engage here now. Headbutt, pulverize, headbutt, headbutt, pulverize onto the rail. Arcane Shift there. I mean, that's so much damage from the Kalista Spears. Yeah, the 2v2 bot lane situation is in just massive trouble. Fnatic are just falling all over the map here. I mean, as we identified earlier, that their whole laning phase situation is just not as good, but a lot of miscommunication there, not knowing that Jace was roaming from mid, but getting really greedy after the chunk on Rel. Like, Rel was on 10% HP, but I think they thought they could maybe tower dive it and go for it, but Alistair doesn't have his ulti. Kalista did, but tower's still going to be doing a lot of damage. If you have maybe like Alistair ulti, it can just wander in and walk in and just take the initial aggro there. Maybe it's okay, but I don't know. That was a head scratcher for sure. I don't know. They kind of blew it a little bit there. I don't feel like Fnatic should have been able to get anything from that. They should have just disengaged after the really good. We're going to get to see it here. I'd love to watch the bot lane situation here. But Mad have been very, very proactive. I mean, this Fnatic draft I think is just terrible. I don't know why they've opted into having such a weak laning phase. Like Ornn, Karthus are losing 2v2 bot lanes. This fight here, nice engage, really nice engage here. Spears stacking up onto the Rel. Rel does like nip away, like here, you know, the E here, it just sucks. You can't look for a kill there, and then just hang around too long. There's no blast cone to escape, so yeah, I think they just kind of have to look to dive it at that point. As soon as they kind of see Jace in the river, Alistar just needs to go under the turret, and then they need to look to dive for it, and then it'd be a 1-for-2. But I don't know why we're getting a cinematic for this, but yeah, amazing. Yeah, I don't know, just a little bit greedy on the pushing, and then the Azir wasn't in. They had no backup at that point. If you're gonna make a tower dive or get that far deep into the enemy jungle, you kind of need like a backup plan for when if they do get collapsed on, and they didn't have that. They kind of tunnel visioned into that a little bit too hard. The initial engage there in Rel was good. Chasing after it though, not so great. Good escape though from Fnatic. Honestly though, the Rel did a good job getting over the wall, surviving. Ezra did a good job not getting caught there by the I think it was a flash pulverized by the Alistar. So overall pretty solid job there in terms of being able to get out. They're pressuring the bot lane more here. Alistar does have 6, so they could maybe use Alistar ulti to maybe take some tower aggro and mitigate the turret's damage, but lane's got shoved in a bit. Looks like they're just going to go straight for the second dragon and try and get a dragon lead here. Mad's still ahead here in gold, but yeah, it doesn't look like Fnatic with their such a weak laning phase overall, the champions, is just, yeah, they're not going to be able to contest the dragons. So this definitely will go over to Mad. I am wondering even if Fnatic are going to contest the third dragon, because those 2 dragons have gone down already at 11 minutes. That was so early. So early, 2 dragons there. Yeah, I think question mark pings have to go on. If Fnatic lose this game, it's purely because of this draft. The laning phase is just, the champions that they've got is just way too bad for to not get stomped in the first 15 minutes of the game. You just, like, you got the Karthus, the Ornn, just too much scaling going on. They're completely relying on that they're not going to int laning phase too much, and honestly, they're only like 600 gold behind. Ornn item upgrades will catch them up a little bit. It's not actually that bad for Fnatic right now. I think it should have been a lot worse. I think Mad kind of made up a couple of mistakes down on the bot side, getting caught. But the dragons is like the main positive there, right? Mad have done a fantastic job securing these dragons, and that's going to be the main win con for them. Karthus again wandering around in the river, this time fighting over the scuttle. Karthus does get hit up by the Malphite ulti. He flashes away. Looks like they're still looking to fight this. Karthus will be defiling down on the ground here though. He's got his ulti. Looks like a couple of people might go down to Karthus ulti. Alistar lives. The ult's not too much damage right now. Ends up being a 1-for-2. Looking like, is that Wonder TPing? Yeah, that's on TP down. On ulti. Nice catch. Wonder going absolutely mad here. Has he got Q? On. No, Arcane Shift collects it. He will die to the turret, but I think that's really good. That's really good for Fnatic. That's a really nice TP there from On to get involved in there. Cassante had teleport as well, but he didn't use it. So question marks on top lane why he didn't use his teleport to answer the On teleport. Where is Cassante? Is in the top lane right now. I kind of am looking more at the top lane situation, why understanding why Cassante didn't TP with. But yeah, this looks like a really bad situation for Fnatic. They actually slip away a little bit here. I think Karthus at this point should just walk into them more to be able to get more use out of his passive. Ulti does like an okay-ish amount of damage, but that will do more as the game goes on. But Ornn teleports it, but Cassante doesn't join in here. I think if Cassante teleports in mid here at the same time, does Mad then turn that? It's a good headbutt though. Really good headbutt from Alistar to make sure Ornn goes back under the turret. So that's a nice kind of like collection kill. I think Alistar's having a much better game this game than he was on the Braum. Kind of a 180 different support entirely. Like his brother was on the playing for him in the previous game, and now his little bro was playing, and now he's taking over. But Hylissang looks much more comfortable on the Alistar than on the Braum. Bot turret though. No one's really collecting any resources in the bot tower, but the trade is for top. So it's a trade for top for bot. A little handshake there done. But I will say that Ornn didn't miss out on XP, whereas there's no one collecting XP on the bot side. Big grouping up here. I think they want to try and get to someone collecting up this XP and CS, but there's been like 2 waves maybe denied on bot lane for Mad. So that's actually now made it so that Fnatic have more gold than Mad, just because they weren't able to get someone down into that bot wave. So a bit of miscommunication there from Mad in terms of like who should be collecting bot, but it does mean there's more Mad players now on the top half of the map, so they can go for this Herald. And the next dragon's in 1 minute. So I'm expecting here Herald to be taken, and then some recalls, and then some playing for the dragon. But Fnatic are not wanting them to have Herald here. Sapling in the brush there, so it's going to make it difficult for them to recall to get back into mid lane. That's a terrible engage actually from Alistar, too desperate. But also not a very good Ornn ulti either. Both teams kind of staring each other down. I think Kalista's trying to get mid lane priority right now to try and shove that in so they can't get punished on that side of things. Ezreal's also trying to answer that. So both AD carriers in the mid lane trying to fighting over mid priority right now. Alistar has Hextech Flash. You might have to look at some sort of like play there with a Hextech. Azir looks like he's found Jace. Can he get the shuffle on? No. Both AD carriers are taking back. It's back now into a 5v5. War's being cleared out in the river. No one actually has that great vision in this fight. Sapling looking, but Karthus ulti coming down now. That's going to put people down maybe 2 low HP, and I think that's going to give away the Herald. I think if Mad recall really quickly here now, though, they can just go straight for the dragon, maybe. Herald might get used mid, but I think they just need to look at just trying to make sure that they're ready for this third dragon. Really well played from Fnatic in order to like regather here, but it's going to be interesting to see who gets this third dragon. If Mad gets this third Drake, I would be very worried for Fnatic for the rest of the game. It makes the game so much harder playing around Baron and stuff. Mad are kind of rushing this down now. Mad looks like they are going to get here first. There's going to be some slap slings set up. We're going to get Scuttle also for Mad. This is still in the mid lane, trying to make sure to get mid lane priority. We don't have Ornn ulti to worry about, so that's going to be difficult for Fnatic to actually get in to engage here. Rel's going to have to do most of the work here, I think. How well is this Rel ulti going to be? And Alistar went into Rel to stop her from engaging. Maokai is now being used to disengage. Can they kill the dragon quick enough? They do. They do get 3 dragons. That's really huge for Mad. Rel now actually finally getting the engage that we were talking about earlier. She does start going down here. But also, Kalista's dead. Kalista's going down is absolutely massive here. There's no Karthus ulti to pick off any people that got left health. It's a straight up 4v4 right now. But Mad have no AD carry. Ornn keeps pushing in. Ornn ulti is going to be up again soon, but Ornn does fall over before that happens. And Fnatic are losing members here quite a lot. Even though Mad didn't have the AD carry, I think Fnatic were probably trying to play for the Ornn ulti, but engaged just a little bit too much in anticipation for it. I think if they were able to hold off the fight another few seconds for Ornn ulti, I think Mad might lose this fight, you know. But really, really, really well played from Mad. This is absolutely huge for them that they're on 3 dragons and now have won that team fight. But yeah, that's what we're talking about. So when the Ornn ulti is on cooldown, Rel has to be the one to engage. And Rel engage is pretty predictable. I will give credit to Rel. Rel did a hell of an engage though. It happened after the dragon. But I would say Hellistung, the Alistar, actually was the main reason why Rel. Like, watch the Alistar go in onto the Rel here. It's the only main engage that can go in. She's also then Glacial Orged up. Kalista then ults the Alistar away. Then the Maokai disengages. Rel can't get in to engage here until now. But when there's nothing left for Mad to disengage the Rel ulti and stuff with. So there's no Maokai ulti. There's nothing left really on the Alistar. So yeah, that's why that Rel is able to launch such a very good combo off there. And I think if Fnatic just play this a little bit slower, wait for the Ornn ulti to come up, maybe something comes off of that. But yeah, this is just coming off. It's just the laning phase is just weaker. I mean, Fnatic can still, they have to play over this next dragon. Every single dragon they're gonna have to play for. They can't let Mad just have Ocean Soul. But the longer the game goes on, the more dangerous Fnatic can potentially be, but they're not quite at that point yet. But yeah, they did a really good job identifying that Ornn had no ulti. The only engaged threat was Rel. Alistar did his job, stopped the Rel from going in, and then even though Rel eventually landed a really nice combo, Mad still won the fight. So it's looking pretty promising, honestly, for Mad right now. Azir getting caught off here though. This is not a good time to die. Baron is spawning in 5 seconds. That's actually a horrendous time to die. I'm not sure why Azir necessarily got caught off that hard. Fnatic now grouping around the Baron. This Baron timing is literally the worst. Why is it always someone gets picked off on Mad at the worst times? Maokai ulti going through. They're all quite clumped up here, but Mad don't have the best AoE, especially without the Azir and his ulti. Nice double headbutt pulverized there onto both the Rel and the Karthus. And Karthus is completely out of mana here. He is going to go down here. His body's going to be left on the ground. But yeah, I think I get, yeah, so this, oh, pentakill, nice. I think the main reason why Mad win that, even though it's 4v5, is because they had to use the Ornn ulti to catch off the Azir. And then they were left without like that many tools left in order to control the fight. Maokai ulti does a really good job keeping people in place. So Baron was like their fifth member of their party almost. Yeah, with Mad getting this Baron and the fact that they're on 3 dragons and they got bot tier 1, they're gonna get top tier 2. I don't see how Fnatic can come back from this. I think as I said, the main reason Fnatic would lose this is because of draft. I don't know why they gave up such everything, all the lanes, just really bad lanes early. But watch the Kalista here. Nice engage here from Alistar. Much better performance than him in this game. Kalista just completely free, just do whatever she likes. There's no Ornn ulti. There's no Rel to interfere. No one is touching her at all. There's no crowd control. Nothing. And the Karthus is too weak, so that Defile is not even that scary on the ground. Just does tickle me Elmo damage. No one's taking damage. Everyone's just giggling through it. I think this is the best game that we've seen from Mad in a while, for sure. Another big fight here, though. We've got Dragon up in 20 seconds. Fnatic in a clear river position here, but don't forget, Mad has Baron, and they have mid lane priority. They could give up this Dragon. They don't have to fight this. They could just run down mid and get tier 2, tier 3. They don't have to fight this, but they do have a gold advantage. Looks like they are wanting to fight this. There are minions in the tier 2, but it's not going to do crazy amounts of damage. Maokai looking for a nice flank. Ulti, expect an ult coming from the side here. Hillsong going in, but he's kind of caught out. His ulti's going to buy some time. So he's tanking them when he was on the Braum, but yeah, he's just fine. He's shrugging it off. He's now getting saved here by the Kalista ultimate, but Karthus ulti goes down. Azir still stays alive on about 10% HP. Fire's not completely over yet, though. I don't know if Fnatic actually have much left here. Ezreal is doing a lot of chip damage here, and he is just able just to land Mystic Shot after Mystic Shot after Mystic Shot. This Ocean Dragon is slowing down Fnatic a little bit, but actually Mad lose the fight. They're looking like they want to kind of come back into it, but I think Kalista is now recalled. Alistar Hextech flashed over into the pit. Dragon's reset. Jace missed his Q. Alistar's looking for an engage here, but he's in a really bad spot now. Any skill shot here. Yeah, Alistar goes down. Azir shuffle gets one. Azir nearly grabs the Ezreal. If he gets the Ezreal, then it's really, really good. I don't know. I don't know why they're fighting over this dragon so much. Like, yes, having Ocean Soul is really good for them. But honestly, they had such good mid lane priority there, though. Alright, here's another fight. Kalista's now they bought enough time for Kalista to heal all the way back up and get back into the fight. Ezreal goes down. Kalista's still alive. On 10% HP, still alive. Karthus Q lands, still alive. Is Karthus ulti going to come through? Do they actually get Soul? I'm amazed. That fight lasted so long that they had a fight. Kalista managed to go heal, come back into the fight again when there's no Hex Gates as well, and rejoin that. That whole fight is just crazy. Look at Hillsong. He's kind of in the wrong position completely, but he's forced himself to have to go in. I think Fnatic realized that Alistar's in the wrong position, but I think, honestly, if they just fight Mad up in the river head on rather and just ignore the Alistar, I think they have much better odds here. I think they waste too much on the Alistar for sure. But here, after everything's been used by Mad, they haven't got much left, and now it's just free for Ezreal just to keep doing what he wants. There's no Alistar combo. He's too low HP to go in. There's no Maokai ulti, so they're having to kind of just... Then they just get shoved off with the Jace poke and stuff. And unfortunately for Fnatic, Ezreal's damage is just a little bit too low here right now. He does manage to kill the Alistar eventually here, but imagine if this Ezreal just had a little bit more damage. Nice flash to dodge the Azir ulti. Nice kill onto the Azir. So Ezra did pick up a couple of kills here, but yeah, Ez can't stop this anymore. He's trying to buy time for his team, but it's not going to happen. Kalista is able to come in and just clean up. As Kalista chose the right angle to come into this fight, she could have come above it or below it. And coming in below just gave the right timing there when Ezra was walking into an area where Kalista could just get onto him straight away. So it's a little bit unlucky for the Ezreal there. On ulti hits onto the Kalista. Kalista's way too deep. Stopwatch gets used. Is anyone actually able to help out this Kalista? Arthur's ulti comes down, but it probably won't be enough damage. Yeah, that looked like it did no damage. So Mad are actually going to probably win, right? This game. Fnatic, I think, yeah. I think Hillsong on Alistair for Mad is just way better than the Braum. The Braum was literally a 1/2 out of 10 performance. This Alistair is like 9 out of 10. I'd say such a big swing from the Braum being absolute garbage and inting to now having this Alistair where it's done the most out of everyone. I think this Alistair pick has definitely done the most plays and the most, you know, good things for Mad. I will argue though, Fnatic's draft is so bad. They have no winning lanes. They don't win the 2v2 matchup. Mid lane matchup, not really sure on. Top lane, you got an Ornn there. Ornn isn't expected to win early anyway, and you got Karthus jungle, and he's not going to be winning early either. So I don't understand the Fnatic draft. They literally were like, okay, we're going to give up the first 15 minutes of the game. And to be fair to them, even though they had kind of like bad lanes, Fnatic kept the gold deficit to around about 1,000, so they weren't that far behind, but it was too much. The draft was just not good enough. So they still got, you know, Mad have to win every single game. Still 2 more potential games left of this series, but I will say like Fnatic just need a better draft. That draft just didn't do them any favors. I think you can't run Ornn and Karthus and have a bot lane matchup that's just not gonna be able to do anything the entire laning phase. You're just giving away. You literally just give up the whole map, and there's just no need for it. So game 4, better Fnatic draft maybe. We shall see. But yeah, Mad for the first time that I've seen them play have actually shown a bit of promise. Hillsong has shown me that he doesn't have to in every single game, so that's nice. And yeah, be interesting to see game number 4. If you want to watch game number 4, I'm sure if you're on the channel, it'll be the next video because I'm going to be recording it straight away after this. So hope you guys enjoy me covering this this series, and see you for game number 4.